Welcome to the Freedom Property Podcast, the modern real estate brand empowering excellence. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back, Freedom Property Podcast show. This is round 2 of the Objections show that we recorded a couple of weeks ago. So, Eamon, you got some more for me?
I got so many objections for you, Josh.
Let's do this. I'm keen. Love this stuff.
So, Josh, I don't want to sign exclusive to you, my home. I mean, there's so many other agents. Like, why would I limit myself like that, you know?
Yeah, you could have multiple agents if you want to.
Cool.
Why would you like to do that?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, there's more opportunity, more people marketing my home, you know?
Okay. So let's put yourself in the buyer's shoes. All right. Say you were a buyer interested in your property and you saw 4 agents marketing the home at 4 signs out the front and you contacted all 4 agents. What do you think you'd be doing?
I'm not too sure.
You'd probably try and figure out who you can get the property off cheapest, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good look for you. So, yeah, look, there's a term in real estate. It's everyone's listing and no one's responsibility. So you don't need this. Just pick one agent. Even if it's not me, just pick an agent.
Yeah, nice. Do you get that often or?
You used to.
Yeah.
It might become a thing, you know, when the market tightens up. Yeah, more people wanting to open list. But, nah.
I've definitely seen it a couple of times when there's 2 signs out the front, different agencies. The signs are right next to each other.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Yeah, if I was the buyer, that's exactly what I'd do. I'd just ring them all and see what was going on. It just makes you look desperate, I reckon, as a seller.
Yeah, righto.
Don't do it.
So, yeah, that's a pretty good offer that you've brought us after a couple of open homes. But, you know, just kind of want to think about it, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, so what do you want to think about?
Oh, you know, just want to talk with the wife and, you know, have a think about it. I'm not too sure if that's kind of the price with us or.
Okay. So have you got a number that you definitely will accept in your head right now?
I mean, yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe another 50 on top of that, you know?
Okay. So you're saying to me 100% if this guy offers an extra $50,000 today, you'll 100% buy sell the property?
Yeah, I'd probably be comfortable with that, you know?
I need to know 100% because I don't want to go into battle for you right now with the buyer and, you know, if I know 100% that you're going to take the offer, then it will give me a bit of confidence in negotiating for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, as I said, I'd have to speak to the misso, but I'd be pretty confident in saying that, yeah?
Yeah, well, if you could confirm that and come back to me as quickly as you can and we'll work it from there.
Perfect.
So, yeah, the problem is that people like this, they're always going to be like that, you know, so commit them, you know, commit your sellers, figure out what they are prepared to accept and get this, you know, locked in so you can do the deal because you don't want to be going to a buyer and saying you can get it done at a certain number and then the seller comes back and says, oh, no, I want more money now.
Yeah.
Like, don't ask for the buyer for a number that you definitely don't know that the owner will take it. You know what I mean? So always make sure you know your numbers.
But like, would you run into that because you would have already kind of qualified them?
People change their mind.
Right, yeah.
It happens, yeah. So,
but would you point that out and would you be like, but when we did the listing presentation, you told me that was your number and this is the number?
Absolutely. Yeah, it can definitely go there as well, you know, but obviously we're already having these conversations the whole way through, you know, and as an agent, you need to just keep checking in about that with your seller. Good open home. We had 16 groups through, definitely some interest around right now. Just wanted to confirm the numbers 100%, you know. You know, if I couldn't get that amount, is there another number that you would consider? You see, so you always just ask the question. Just ask the question, but never ever, as an agent, never commit to a number that you haven't got. So, for instance, if I have an offer at 1,250, and I think that's, you know, the buyer's got more money in them, but I don't know this for sure, but I think that they do. I would never go to my seller and say, what if I could get them to 1.3? I would never do that.
Oh yeah, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Absolutely, because the buyer could be like, nah. And then the seller might say, well, yeah, have you got into there? You know, and you're just like, oh, shit, I've just cost myself the deal.
Yeah.
You know, so never as an agent commit to a number that you don't have. So if 1,250 is the number you got, that's a number. Look, I can't comment anything past 1,250 right now. So if I was you, make your decision on 1,250. If you're not prepared to take 1,250, come back to me with a number as close to that as you possibly can, and I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to shout any numbers higher than that.
So Josh, this all sounds really good to me, but I just need maybe a little bit of time to just kind of think about all this, you know?
Absolutely. So what is it that you're wanting to consider right now?
Just want to, I guess make sure you're the right agent and, that we're actually keen to sell. And,
Yeah.
It's obviously all pretty nerve-wracking selling my home.
It is. It's a huge decision. You got to make sure you're making the right call here. But do you think I can sell your house?
I mean, yeah, you seem like you can maybe do the job.
Yeah. And so what is it? Is it the marketing?
No, I mean, I think the marketing is probably going to be pretty good, actually.
So you feel comfortable with that package?
Yeah, I mean, your media team is awesome. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're confident that I can sell the property. You're okay with the marketing. Is it my commission?
So what, you're just kind of digging for like...
I'm finding the objection.
Right, yeah.
Like, what's the
They
guy?
just haven't given you the actual objection.
Yeah, there's a reason why that you're not signing this paperwork right now.
Right.
I'm going to find out what it is, because before we sit down with the sellers, like I'm going to hit a lot of questions to you. Obviously, before I've met you as well, I've sent you a survey and I've asked you heaps of questions about, why you're selling and your time frame and when you want to get it on the market and all these types of things. I've told you I'm bringing the paperwork over. As I'm sitting down with you, I'll say something like at the start, well, thank you so much for letting me come over. Obviously, we'll talk about everything today, but if everything sounds good, would you be in a position to move forward today? And before you said yes, or you wanted to get it on the market I see on your survey here, it says you want to get the property on the market in the next 2 weeks. That's good. That gives me a little bit of time to prepare everything over the next 2 weeks. So let's see what we can do here. Let's try and work this out, So I would always then come back to that, like on the phone before I came over here, you said that you were ready to rock. Has something changed? Is it me? Is it the marketing?
Man, what do you find the objection actually is when you dig down?
Yeah, you dig, and you'll find it. There's always different types of things. Sometimes they're like, oh my God, well, like our friend wants to buy the house,
Right.
And you're like, oh, okay. All right. Well, that's cool. She can still buy it. I'll just make her pay more money. And they're like, oh no. And I just say, well, listen, we can work that out. Like I'm not going to, if you've got a buyer that you've been negotiating with privately, that's cool. You can still do that deal. I'm not going to take a commission off you if that happens. But yeah, I think that once you get me involved and we put a marketing campaign in play, you're going to see why you're paying me my commission. Okay, so let me do what I'm good at. If you've got an offer already and you're not even on the market, you haven't even got us involved yet, imagine what's going to happen when you do. So another thing might be, well, yeah, it is. It's the commission's too high. Okay, so you're saying to me, if I do you a deal right now on the commission, you're 100% happy to move forward?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, there you go. Now I gotcha. You know what I mean? So again, don't try and negotiate the commission. Ask them a question, lock them down, close. So again, there's always something in a listing presentation. Sometimes it is the marketing. Sometimes they don't have the money up front right now to spend money on marketing. Okay, so if I can do you a deal on that, you'd be happy to move forward?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you would. Okay, well, let's figure this out. Let's work out a deal. And then work out the deal. Everyone in the offices have got their own different deals that they do. You might offer X amount back on sale of property of the marketing. You might help pay for some of it up front, whatever you want to do. But just get the listing, all right? So, yeah.
Yeah, nice. And so, Josh, I saw you sold that house down the street. And it was, sold it for 1.2, and I think it's kind of worth 1.4. Like, how do I know you're going to sell my house for the right amount? Okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's a strange one. Did you go through that house? Did you?
No, but I keep an eye on the market.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah. So why did you think it's worth 1.4?
Oh, I mean, have you seen this street? Like, there's a lot of sales going for around that, on this street. So
yeah. Okay. No, that's all good. No, it just threw me off a little bit there. That was on the market for a while, that property. But yeah, look, every house is different. Every seller's different. Every situation's different. The sellers did a really good marketing campaign there, and it was on the market for 3 weeks and had a lot of people through the door and competition when they bought it. A few people walking away for less money than that. But listen, every house is different. And I'm not saying that yours isn't worth more money. I'm just letting you know that, every house is different. And let's just work out a process for yours that's going to get you the most amount of money. All right. So would you be comfortable if I come and sit down with you and show you a plan, show you how I deal with my buyers, and just show you what we can do for you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So again, just try and get the seller committed right now, because, you know, like if you are the type of agent that sells multiple homes, I had one recently. Oh my God, this sale haunts me. I'm so frustrated with it. I had an offer for this seller, and the offer was $140,000 more than the offer he took a week later. And he rejected this offer because it had a 7-day finance clause on the deal. And I said to him, I'm like, mate, it's a 7-day finance clause. Like, this buyer is solid. They are good to go. And he didn't want to do the deal. And then this buyer went and bought something else. And 10 days later, we accepted a offer. It was a cash offer, so it had no finance on it, but it was 10 days later, and it was for a lot less money. And I was just like, oh, like, I don't even know how I feel about this. This is just annoying. Like, because I wanted to get the seller more money, but they didn't really care about that. So sometimes it's not even about you as an agent. It's about what the seller wants.
Right.
Like, sometimes it's like the seller has to sell it quickly. And you're like, oh, come on. Like, I could probably get you more money if you just hang tight. Or maybe they didn't finish doing something out the back. Or maybe there was a problem on the building and pest when it popped up and it reduces the sale price. And then some neighbors think that maybe you've undersold a house and you're like, oh, you know, it's got nothing to do with me. You know, I'm the one that wants to get the most amount of money for every single property we get, you know, but occasionally that's going to happen. And when you're selling as many homes as what some agents do, occasionally there's going to be a sale in there and you think, oh, maybe I could have got a little bit more for that. But then they don't talk about the ones like the other, however many, when you got hundreds of thousands of dollars over the reserve prices and you're forcing the prices up around town as well, you know, but it's always the one. So it happens.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so many variables that obviously happen behind closed doors that nobody sees. They only see like the end price, and that's how they perceive you, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's
it's a hard job being an agent.
That's it. It's a roller coaster, but at the end of the day, agents, we're here to do deals. You're here to present offers to sellers and, you know, let them make the decisions at the end of the day. You know, don't be the gods of price, you know. I had a lady in the office a little while ago. She came into my office and she's like, oh, I've got this offer on the house and just not sure if it's the right money, you know. And I was just like, what are you talking about right now? Like, what's going on? Like, what's the offer? And she was like, oh, it's 890,000 or something, or 870,000, this offer. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, what do you think it's worth? And she's like, I probably think it's worth like 890. And I was just like, what are you doing right now? You know, like it's you know, the seller it's up to the seller to make that decision. You know, it's not your decision. And plus, like, you're making a decision on $20,000, which you could be wrong as an agent.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're not buying the house. You know, it's not your money. If it was worth more money, people would be paying more money. So, you know, don't get too caught up in that, agents.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's like not even like 3% more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, how fussy are you going to be?
Well, look, I'm you know, keen as to just get as much money as I possibly can in every single deal for every seller I work with. But it's always the seller's decisions. Put the offers to the seller and let them decide what they want to do. Once they're committed and then you know what number they will take, then try and get as much more past that point as you can.
Nice. So the next one is like, I want to open list. Is that kind of the same as what we?
Yeah, that's the multiple agent one.
Yeah. I want to do a sole exclusive. I don't even know what that is. So.
Sole exclusive. Well, that's if I'm a real estate agent and if I've got a real estate agent's license as an owner, maybe an ex-agent, they could sell the property themselves as well as the agent.
Right.
So I would just say to them, because a lot of people, they're like, oh, I'll do a sole exclusive and I'll sell it to one of my friends. So I would just say to them, oh, so do you have a real estate license?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Okay. All right. Well, and that's all up to date?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know about this one. So.
Yeah. Well, usually at this point, they'd be like, no, I don't. Okay, and you're like, well, you can't do a sole exclusive then because you needed a license to sell your own property. Right. So then they would just put that to bed straight away. But if they said yes, I'd be like, okay. And so, you know, like, do you have someone that wants to buy your property, do you? Okay, well, why don't we just write into the contract that if that person buys it, we'll exclude them from the deal? Because, yeah, to me, like, I don't want to do all the work and then negotiate the whole deal and then, you know, the buyer turns up to your house on a Wednesday night without me and you cut me out the whole deal and I've worked for you for 4 weeks. Yeah. You know, like, I just don't want to have that drama with you.
And also, if you're going to sell it yourself, like, why am I even sitting here? Like, if you're that
Absolutely.
confident, like,
Yeah, seriously. If you got that
So-
many buyers, what do you need me for?
all right, they think, yeah. So I think, your commission's way too high. You're way too expensive. Like, why should I pay that?
Okay. All right. So, so yeah, you've caught me off guard on that one. So you're saying that you think my commission's too high?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's probably going to end up being like at least 30,000. Like, why should I pay you that?
Okay.
Like, that's so much money. Like,
And what are the other agents charging?
there's one that's kind of, half yours. It's one that's like a little bit lower than yours.
Okay. All right. Let's do some numbers. All right. You want 800,000 for your house right now. Okay. Now, let's say I charge 3%, which I don't. Let's just say I charge 3% though. Okay. And the competitor charges 2%. Now, the difference between me and this other agent is $8,000. Okay. And it's probably not that, because I don't imagine there'd be many people sitting in front of you that are offering 2%. And if they are, you probably don't want that agent, to be honest with you. So the numbers we're talking right now is a difference between $8,000. I think what you need to ask yourself right now is, do you think I'm an $8,000 negotiator better than these other agents?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, what are we worried about?
Nice.
So listen, if I can't get you more money, I'll do your deal, but I'd rather be negotiable and I put the offer in front of you. So let's focus on what we can affect right now. Let's get as much money as we possibly can. When I represent the offer to you at the end, if it's not a number you're happy to accept, we'll talk about it. But very rarely am I talking about it because I'm always getting the seller's numbers that they're happy with, So I don't have to get into that drama, because if they give me the tools, if they give me to get the house looking as sharp as possible, and we got the right marketing in play, we're all good. Everything's going to be all right. We get the sellers good prices, and a lot of the time sellers are they're testing you right now. They're seeing if you can negotiate. And again, like I said before, do you really want me sitting in front of your buyer if I can't even negotiate, my own commission off you? It's not the agent you're looking for.
So that's a smart one, I think. I've learned this one from you, and like, not that we get objections like for our prices in the media team, but it's the same. It's like, we put our prices up like maybe 6 months ago, and if we had any objections, it's like, do you think that this media is going to get an extra $200 on the listing price for your home? And it's an absolute no-brainer in that situation, because we're not talking about tens of thousands of dollars, and they're just like, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm happy to do, to try and discount the commission for you, but like, what part of my service do you want me to drop off? Like what don't you want out of this?
Yeah.
Oh no, we want the whole thing. All right. Well, what
This
are
is
we worried
what it's
about?
worth,
Then?
yeah.
Yeah, like, come on, let's do this. Let's do a deal.
Yeah, especially if you've like communicated all the value, like, you've shown them your buyers and all that sort of stuff. It's like, I've just shown you all this. Has all the other agents shown you this? If not, like, what? Yeah, what are we even talking about?
And again, just go back, bang, straight, hit the seller straight between the eyes. So you're saying to me, if I do your deal right now on the commission, you'll list your house with me. Cover that first. Well, yeah, I would. All right, well, let's talk about this. Bang, then hit your spiel. Then do what I just did then.
Yeah.
Then cement the deal,
Yeah, nice. All right, so
love these objections.
yeah, they're so good. So good.
This is one of my favorite parts of real estate. I love doing this. I love when people like throw you off guard with this stuff in training as well, and they throw like an objection at you, and you're just like, "Boosh," I just love that because it's like, it just shows, because I've been in this environment so many times before, and I've said the wrong things before, and I know what to not say. But usually, a lot of the time, agents like ask a question to get you out of these situations. So when someone's coming at you with something, don't feel like you have to answer it all the time. Just go back to them with a question straight away, throws them off guard. You figure out what they want, and then give them what they want.
Yeah, because as you said, it's like they're like trying to get you worked up, kind of thing. And if you go, well, like this, and then it's like you've lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a good one at the moment, because buyers are going to be coming to you at your open homes, and they're going to be like, well, like, what do you think is going to happen with the market? Like, the market's dropping, isn't it? And just be like, oh, okay. Why do you think that? And they go, well, like, because of this and this and this. Okay, and do you think that that's going to have an effect on this area? And they're like, well, maybe not as much. Yeah, I don't know, Yeah, we're not, depending on where you are, like if you're in like a place where we are right here in the Redlands City, like this is more of a regional type town, like it's not like a main city, so maybe people are pulling their monies out of main cities and they're coming to places like this that offer a little bit more value right now. Will our market slow down? I don't know. But again, when you start asking that question, because someone might come in and be like, what's going on? How's the market? Are you talking about in terms of selling or buying? And they're like, well, like selling for like my place. And you say, oh, what do you think's going on? And they're like, oh, we'll be fine here, eh? You go, yeah. yeah, for sure. Like, why would I have a drama with you again? You know what I mean? Like, if you're backing it, I'm backing it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be negative about this marketplace. I'll tell you how it is, but again, figure out where they're coming from there, like, because when people are like, how's the market? It's like, like what exactly are you trying to ask me right now? Are you talking about like, as you trying to buy a house? Are you thinking about the sale of your place, sale price of your place? Like what are you actually trying to get at me here? So because most people are like, especially like owners, they're like, nah, it won't drop. It won't drop. You're like, yeah, I've got multiple homes in the area too. I don't think it will either, or if it does, it might tighten up a little bit, but you don't need to sell yours anyway, do you? They're like, nah. I'm like, good. Well, we're sweet then. No worries. There's some opportunities coming maybe, but yeah, this is too good of an area, I think. There's too many people want to live here. And then sell the area, sell the passion about the location. Tell them why people are moving here. Tell them the amount of inquiry you're getting on property right now. Fill them with confidence. That's the agent they want to deal with. They don't want to deal with, oh, yeah, I think it's going to drop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, it's really tight out there. My phone isn't ringing as much. And yeah, well, this seller's really keen to get it moving. Like, ugh.
But also, you don't actually know is the thing.
Yeah, no one knows.
So you could be like, oh, yeah, I'm not sure. And then, fill them with doubt. But it could still just be like, the same. And
Absolutely.
So it's like, why would you even go there?
You've got no idea. Like, no one's got no idea what the market's going to do. Like, you can be as clued up as you can be and still get it wrong. So, yeah, I wouldn't go committing to anything, agents.
All right, we've got a couple more to go. We're almost done.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, so don't look at property without prices on.
Okay, no worries.
What does that mean? Is it the seller saying?
Yeah, so sometimes when you're in a listing presentation, sellers they don't want to list with no price because they don't.
Oh, they want to put a price on it. Yeah. Right. Okay.
And you may choose to put a price on the property agents. It just depends what type of property and location you are in. But for me, in my area, I like to leave it all properties open to offers for a week because I like to see if someone wants to pay more money for the home in the first week because that's usually when it happens. But I would say to the buyer right now, the seller, sorry, I just want to again put you in the buyer's shoes. Okay, so let's just say you're a buyer right now and you've sold your property, like you're good to go. You're like the hottest buyer in town. Okay, and you see this property come onto the market. And it's exactly where you want to be. It's in the location you want. And it's got the features you want. And you've typed a price range in realestate.com and it's popped up in there. And it's the newest listing on realestate.com. And it's got no price. What are you going to do?
Probably call you.
Exactly. End of story. They're going to call. The only thing that's going to stop them from calling is a price. So now, if take that exact same situation and the property is priced more than what you want to pay or can afford, what are you going to do?
Yeah, keep looking.
You're going to be spewing, aren't you? You're going to
yeah.
That's a shame.
But that doesn't mean I don't actually have the extra cash to pay it. It's just not what you think you wanted to pay for it.
Absolutely. But it's not saying that when you get through the door as a buyer and you fall in love with this property and you realize, oh my God, I need to get an extra $100,000. Like this is the house of my dreams. So get the buyers through the door at the price they want to pay, let them fall in love with the property, and then take them to the number.
So I think like don't look at auction properties. We kind of covered that before as well.
Don't look at auctions. Yeah, it's a similar sort of thing to that. But again, auctions aren't right for all types of properties, but for homes that are in unique locations, properties that you feel like you're going to have multiple people interested, or maybe you've got a really motivated seller, they're the types of properties I'd definitely be auctioning. Because as a seller, you got to understand, like, there's not many homes like this in this area. So, and in a good marketplace, this is going to be popular. So why pick one buyer when you can just give everybody a chance to buy it and you can take the fairest offer, you know? So, my job as an agent isn't just to sell your home. It's to try and get the most amount of money for it. And the only way I can figure that out is I give it a bit of time in the market, you know? And yeah, you don't, with an auction as an agent, like if you give a property 3 or 4 weeks in the market and you've got an auction date here, it gives people time to figure out if they really want to buy that property or not. It gives them time to work out their finances. And you're not just selling it day one. You know, like I had some, like when the market was red hot a little while ago, I had like sellers coming up to me at open homes and being like, this agent sold my house in a day. And I was like, well, that was stupid then, wasn't it? You know, like thinking like, well, congratulations. You know what I mean? Like big deal. If you sold it in a day, imagine how much more money you would have got if you just done it properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like give the buyers a bit of time to assess the property. And, you know, it's just like, I got full list price week one. You're just like, oh God, congrats. You just cost yourself like 50 grand probably.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, for sure. Each situation is different. But again, auctions work well on the right properties and on, you know, sellers that have got a time frame in play when they want to get their property sold by. So if you've got a really motivated seller, that's the kind of property you want to take to auction. If you've got a really unique property which you think is going to be popular, take that to auction. You know, these are the two things that I would assess when I'm picking an auction.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and I find like when I was a buyer, like at the houses that I was really keen on, like I was obsessively looking at that media. You know, like every night I get home, look at the same house. You know what I mean? It's like when they didn't have like video and all this stuff, and you're only looking at the 8 photos or whatever. So it's like that's why also why auction's more powerful, because like when they get there, they're actually really invested in it because they've looked at that house on realestate.com every single night for 4 weeks. You know, and they get there and they're like, I want it so bad. You know,
I've bid on auctions before.
Oh yeah,
and I went to this one property and it was in Mooloolaba, and it was late last year, and I thought I was going to get it for like just over $1 million. I thought it was like 1.1, something like that. And I was just like, yeah, like I'm going to go for this. I'm going to try and get this. So I turned up on auction day and it was like 30 registered bidders. And I was just like, oh no. It was like an apartment as well. So like you couldn't even move in this place. And I was just like, to Tanya, I was just like, oh, we have got no hope. And I was just like, I'm kicking it off. I'm like 800. I was like, just try to like slow this thing down real quickly, and it just went boom, 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 boom. It just went, and I was just like, oh, I got to my max. I was like 1.1. I was at my max in like 2 bids. I was just like, oh my God. And then I was just like 1.2, and I went higher than what I expected.
Yeah, right.
And I was just like, oh no, that's enough.
Yeah.
You know, like this property, it was crazy because the bidding got up to 1,360, and it looked like everybody was out. It looked like everyone was done because the room was like pretty much done. And then this big bowler, he just jumps in. He's just like 1.5. And I was just like, wow. I was like, everyone was just like, you can have it, mate. Like pretty much. And just like everyone just walked out.
Yeah.
But it was an unbelievable result for the seller.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the buyers left there mad at the agent because like he didn't do anything wrong. It just sold for a big price.
Yeah.
If the property had a passed in at 1,360, for instance, and not sold, then I would have been annoyed with the agent. But because it sold, I was like, yeah, good on you. You did well. You know, you got the result.
And do you think it was worth
more than what I wanted?
Or?
Well, obviously it was because someone paid it. But
yeah,
like it was huge. It was a huge number at the time.
Yeah.
But now looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, maybe it was worth that. You know?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it shocked me at the time. I was just like, wow, you know, so... But I've sold property at auction. I've bought property at auction. I've experienced every, you know, facet of that, you know. So I still think auction's a great method, you know, as a buyer and a seller.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
All right, last one. I don't want my property on social media.
Okay. Why not?
You know, it's just like my private house. I've got photos up. Like I don't want to just videos posted around everywhere.
Yeah, no, we don't have to. That's fine.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Do you come across that one often? Or?
Yeah, look, occasionally. More so the question would be, I don't look on my social media. Why would I advertise on social media? I don't have Facebook.
Yeah, and I'm
because they're like old people or whatever. So again, you flip it back on them and you would say for that question, if they say, well, I'm not on social media, I don't look for property on social media, and you say to them, so who do you think's buying your property?
Yeah,
And they're like,
mid-30s people or something.
yeah. So do you think they're on Facebook?
I guess so, Josh.
Yeah. So, or if it's like a retirement village or something, say it's like an old person's house and and it's another older person that's going to buy the property. Again, they would say, yeah, but it's going to be like an older person that's going to buy this house. They're not going to be on Facebook. And you say to them something like, so, like when you are a bit older and you're buying this property, like who's going to be helping you, do you think?
I don't know the answer. Who?
Like their kids, maybe? Do you reckon?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. And do you reckon the kids are on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like it's again just figuring out like rewording the question. It's just like put yourself in buyer's shoes, put yourself in these people's shoes and, and where do you think they are? What do you think they want? What do you think they want to see? And then flip it on the seller and then make them realize like, oh yeah, that makes more sense. So yeah, their opinion can be clouded because that's what they want,
Yeah, that's what
but
they
it's
think.
maybe not what their buyers wants,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, that's it's a whole bunch of objections for you.
Nice.
Hopefully you got some value out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've got some training videos as well. So we do this in front of like all the agents, all the Freedom Property agents, and we get them up, get them delivering the answers on this stuff. So yeah, if you want access to a few of those videos, then let us know. They're really cool. But yeah, thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you, team.
Peace.